All right, welcome. Today we are cracking the code on one of India's most incredible growth stories, Wakefit. I mean, how does a small online mattress company balloon into a home solutions giant that's now prepping for a massive IPO? So how'd they do it? Let's dive in and unpack their winning formula. So it all kicks off with this one huge number, 93%. Yep, that's the percentage of Indians who are reportedly sleep deprived. This makes the country one of the most sleep-starved in the entire world. Now, this wasn't just a health crisis. It was a massive, completely untapped market just waiting for a solution. And you gotta ask, right? If sleep is so important, why was buying a decent mattress such a complete nightmare? The whole process was just confusing, totally controlled by middlemen with insane markups, and you never really knew if you were getting a good product. This, right here, this is the exact problem Wakefit decided to solve.
Okay, so let's start with Section 1, India's big sleep problem. You had this dual challenge, right? A nation that was exhausted and an industry that was just broken. And that created the perfect storm, the perfect opening for a company like Wakefit.
You see, the traditional furniture market was a mess. It was so inefficient. You had the manufacturers, then distributors, then retailers, and every single one of them was adding their own cut along the way. The focus was all on sales, not on whether the customer was actually getting better sleep. The whole thing was just ripe for a revolution. And then, in 2016, along came Ankit Garg and Chaitanya Ramalinge. See, they weren't just trying to move mattresses out the door. They wanted to sell a better night's sleep. And this quote from Chaitanya really sums it all up. That philosophy was their North Star right from the beginning. So, what was their big answer to this broken system? Well, that brings us to Section 2, a direct-to-consumer model. Instead of trying to fix that old clunky system, they just decided to bypass it completely. And wow, their growth was just explosive. Think about it. They started in 2016 with just 6 lakh rupees. By 2019, they'd raised serious money from Sequoia. Just a year later, in 2020, they started branching out from sleep products into broader home solutions. Then came furniture in 2022, and actual physical stores in 2023. And now, they're gearing up for a 600 crore rupee IPO. This isn't just random growth. It's a clear, calculated journey from a tiny startup to a home solutions powerhouse. And that direct-to-consumer model? Oh, it absolutely delivered. We're talking revenues of over 971 crore rupees. By cutting out all those middlemen, Wakefit could offer much better quality at lower prices. And that's a value proposition customers couldn't get enough of. But okay, this brings up a huge, huge challenge, right? How on earth do you convince someone to buy a mattress, something they're going to use every single night, without them ever touching it first? How do you sell trust online? Well, their answer can be boiled down to one single powerful number, 100. And this little number, it became their single most effective weapon for building confidence and crushing that customer hesitation. And here it is, the 100-day free trial. I mean, think about it. This wasn't just some return policy. It was a massive statement. It was them telling customers, look, we are so confident in our product that we'll let you live with it for more than 3 months to decide for yourself. This one simple policy completely flipped the script on risk. See, instead of the customer taking a gamble on a product they've never seen, Wakefit took the risk on the customer. It was such a bold move, and it turned all that hesitation into rock-solid trust. It became one of their best tools for getting new customers in the door. But they didn't just stop there. They built even more trust with super clever content, like their viral sleep internship. The concept was genius in its simplicity. Literally, get paid to sleep. It was a perfect fit for their brand, and it drove millions of visits to their website and helped them more than double their revenue. They weren't just selling a product anymore, they were building a whole community around the idea of sleeping better. And behind the scenes, their marketing was just as smart. They were using data to do things like show orthopedic mattress ads specifically to professionals who were likely searching for solutions to back pain. And this precision paid off, big time. It led to an incredible result. For every single rupee they spent on ads, they earned 2 rupees back. What a return. Okay, so after basically conquering the digital world, Wakefit's next big move was to bridge that gap between clicks and bricks, turning their focus to the physical world. Now, this is super important. This wasn't a retreat from their online-first strategy. The goal wasn't to replace online with offline. No, it was to blend them together seamlessly, creating a true omnichannel experience where customers could choose exactly how they wanted to shop. And this omnichannel approach created this amazing feedback loop. Their strong online brand drove people into their physical stores. Those stores, in turn, built even more trust and helped them reach a wider market, which helped them nearly double their revenue. Again, you see how each channel just made the other one stronger? Which brings us to the real engine of their success, what we can call the Wakefit growth flywheel. This is that self-reinforcing cycle that just keeps driving their incredible scale. So here's how it works. Step 1, they use their digital marketing magic to get a customer online. Step 2, then they invite that customer into a physical store, an experience center, to actually touch and feel the products. Step 3, while they're in the store, it's easier to sell them bundled items, pillows, bed frames, which increases the total order value. And finally, step 4, that happy customer then comes back to buy from Wakefit's ever-expanding range of home products. You see, each step just feeds the next, creating this unstoppable momentum. And this really shows you their unique spot in the market. You've got the traditional brands, right? They started offline and are now scrambling to add a digital layer. Wakefit did the exact opposite. They started with this really deep, direct relationship with customers online, and now they're using that strength to build a powerful offline presence. Their focus has always been on the customer experience. So what's the end game here? Well, their ambition is to become India's mini IKEA, but not by building those massive warehouses way out on the edge of cities. No, their idea is to create accessible, city-centric stores that offer a full lineup of affordable, well-designed home solutions. All right, so let's recap Wakefit's winning formula. 1, they built everything on a strong direct-to-customer foundation. 2, they earned trust with radical, customer-first policies like that 100-day trial. 3, they masterfully blended the digital and physical worlds. And finally, 4, they created a growth flywheel where every single part of the business makes the other parts stronger. It's a masterclass, really. In the end, Wakefit's success really boils down to this simple but powerful idea. They proved that you don't need huge celebrity endorsements to build loyalty. You just need to be useful, consistent, and honest. That's it. And that leaves us with one final question to chew on. Wakefit found this huge problem that everyone else in the industry was just ignoring. So, as you look around your own world, your own industry, what's that big, unsolved customer problem that's just hiding in plain sight? Something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.